Blog Talk Radio.
98% of so-called Satanists are nothing but pathetic freaks who get their kicks out of dancing naked in freezing churchyards and use the devil as an excuse for getting some sex. But then there's that other 2%. I'm not so sure about them.
You're in the devil's carnival. Come on, come to, come on, devil's carnival. You're in the devil's carnival. Come on, come to, come on, devil's carnival.
Welcome to my gate, you gay and lucky soul. Get your tickets. Form a line. You can help a fall from my humble hole.
Know those threads of green hanging down from heaven high. You're in the devil's carnival. Come on, come to, come on, devil's carnival. You're in the devil's carnival. Come on, come to, come you, devil's carnival. That's your ordinary sinners and extraordinary ones. Bring your brothers, bring your fools, and daughters if you got them. They're a lot of fun. Bring the whole damn family, cause my bill is never full. Carnival! Come on, come to, come on, devil.
Alright, I'm back as King of Cups for the Devil's Homepage. How's everyone doing today? You know, let's start off by saying that YouTube kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Because, let me tell you, okay, like, I've been uploading my episodes to YouTube, and first of all, you not only have to wait until your video's uploaded, you have to wait until it's processed. And I guess that's the point in time where someone who works for YouTube decides if it's worthy to be on YouTube. Yeah. And the copyright thing, it's like, it's so confusing to me, you know, because we can find anything we want on YouTube, and they also have a YouTube downloader, right? Which means we can get anything off of YouTube and pull it on our own computer and use it for however we want. There's no lock on it. You know how iTunes has a lock? Like, you can't just copy and paste, right? You have to, you know, have a license agreement.
Do your fucking job!
So, the spirit of YouTube really is copyright infringement. I'm not lying to you, okay? So, I tried to upload my last episode, which was Vincent Price Loves Tacos. That was the name of the episode, right?
Everything you want.
And I tried to upload that, but when it came back to me, there was no audio. You know what I mean? And there was no audio, so it was kind of like, you know...
Do your fucking job!
I said, okay, maybe it was a glitch in the Matrix, right? So I took it off, and I put it on there again. Several times I did this, and still the same thing came up, that, you know, there was no audio to it. They were not going to allow it.
Fuck you!
And so... You know, so I'm thinking it's because on last episode that I did movie reviews, right? So I had some audio of the movies that I was reviewing. And what it means is...
Good for you and your father.
You know, that it's just too much work for them, I guess, for them to approve this particular video. You know, but in my other episodes... I did play music. I always play music that I don't own the rights to, you know what I mean? But what they do is they make me press an acknowledgement button.
Do your fucking job!
Right? That there's a third party, and I do not have the rights to this audio. You know what I mean? And so I figured the same thing would go down this time because, I just figured that would be the case because the 3 movies that I did review, you can find them on YouTube. You know what I mean? You can find them on there.
Fucking hard and I get shit.
For free, mind you. Right? Yeah. I mean, so frustrating, dude. Swear to God. Like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? Some movies you can upload and some you can't, and I'm just not...
fucking hard and I get shit.
I just don't understand that. I just don't understand it. It's fucking stupid to me. The whole point of YouTube is copyright infringement. I don't care what anyone says. There's rules, there's laws that have to be followed. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? Swear to God. Swear to fucking God.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
So when it's the 4th of July weekend and it's over 100 degrees, you know, that's not a heat wave. That's just called summer.
Tell him to suck his pee-pee.
Yeah, that's what it's called, summertime. When it's, when it's July and it's 100 degrees outside, it's hotter than hell outside, right? And, it's not really a heat wave per se. It's not a heat wave. But anyways, right. Anyone try to log on to Satanic International Network lately? Yep. They haven't been on. It's offline. I'm like, what the hell, I was just starting to meet people from my area really when all of a sudden I get redirected to GoDaddy, right? And man, maybe I should have donated. Good luck, Zach Black. I mean, I used to go on that site quite a bit, just to check my messages or whatever, and I would even troll the chat room sometimes, and there would sometimes be some hella cool people in there, but yeah, it's not on it. It's not online anymore, and I just feel like, well, is it coming back? Is Zach falling on hard times? Does he need a break? Blah 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 blah,
Shut up and let me think.
Right. Yeah. I've talked to him a couple of times in the chat room. It's cool, whatever, But I understand that it does take a lot to run a website like that. That's why I was always too afraid. To start something like that because I just couldn't manage the workload, I guess, or some money issues.
Shut up and let me think.
I would really hate for people to see me fail. Not that Zach has failed in any way. I think he went a long way with Satanic International Network. You know what I mean? I really think so. He went a long way with it, It was up there for a while, and hopefully it'll come back soon. You know what I mean? There was several people that on there that I did chat with, and just say, hey, what's up, Satanist? And they're like, hey, what's up, Satanist?
What a dick.
Right. Yep. So this is the thing, really, is I hear rumors. I hear rumors and things from other Satanists, and they get together and they start getting all philosophical and shit. You know what I mean? Like, imagine that, right? And
Very hard to be a famous person.
So they start suggesting, because, I guess they're heterosexual, right? And they start suggesting, why shouldn't we as Satanists have be against homosexuality, really? That's what they say. And I kind of have to disagree with that. And here's why I say that would be incorrect, is because one cannot base a spiritual virtue on a carnal act. And sex is a carnal act. And spirituality would mean, that we would have to regulate how we have our carnality, our carnal fun, really. You know what I mean? So, and Satanism, let's be honest, Satanism is not a spiritual religion. It is a carnal religion. It's based on the flesh, the life. It's based on the principle that we as human beings are merely animals brought forth from the earth. You know what I mean? And and you know, and that's the way I feel about it, really. Sex is sex, you know what I mean? This is the line that we have drawn, separating ourselves from others, in that we reject the spirit. Wholeheartedly, we reject the spirit. We are soulless animals, you know, feeding and raping ourselves, you know, and it's just...
And make sure it's a good one.
Right. And this is the nature of the beast that we are feeding. We are animals brought forth from the earth. Even more so, like, I'm a devil worshiper, right? I think there is some kind of afterlife. But atheists, even more so, should recognize the fact that human beings are merely animals brought forth from the earth. That there's no such thing as a Father God.
Isn't that special?
Is it already your favorite part of the show? I mean, is that what's going on right here? You know what I mean? I just meant it to be like a little deal, but
I work just as fucking hard and I get shit.
But you know, this is what I'm saying, and it kind of bothered me, you know. Like, we should start regulating how people have sex. We as Satanists, if we as Satanists can't be liberal or lenient with our fellow animals, right? Then we have no business being Satanists at all, or atheists, however you want to say it.
Yes, and I'm tickled pink.
You know, once we start locking down one act of carnality for another, we're going to end up more confused and, more importantly, more hypocritical than Christians are now. I'm not lying.
I work just as fucking hard and I get shit.
You know, allowing for homosexuality isn't the same as being a homo, and we all know that. In satanic sexual freedom, we're allowed to have any kind of sex as long as we're consenting adults. You know this is true. As long as you're an adult and I'm an adult.
Good for you and your father.
Right. You know, Christians, they're just so confused about where they are and who they are and where they're going, and they're basing all their spiritual virtues on carnal acts. And that's like basing a rule in football for something you've seen in baseball. You know, that doesn't make sense to me.
Fuck you!
They're basing their spiritual virtues on things like what kind of food you eat, what kind of tattoos you're getting. What kind of tattoos you're getting, if you can believe it. My tattoo isn't evil because it's of a cross.
Everything you want.
Yeah. Your tattoo is wrong because it's a Grim Reaper. You know, who you're having sex with and how you're having sex with that person. And that's what they're basing their so-called spiritual moral rules on.
Good for you and your father.
You know, that's why Christians make me sick. They're neither left nor right, black or white, you know? And they get out of it, you know how they get out of it, how they justify it, by their spiritual forgiveness clause.
Fuck you!
Their prime directive is the very thing that negates all these spiritual morals. Believe it.
Fuck you!
You know, they cling to these spiritual rules because they're the antithesis of what they really want to do, and you know, it's mystery to me. You know, and then when they do the things that they really want to do, they say, "Oh, but we can be forgiven."
Fuck you!
And that's basically what it comes down to, is that they can be forgiven, but we may not be forgiven because we do not worship Jesus Christ.
Everything you want.
You know? And that's how they get out of everything. Oh, I stole some money from the church, or I cheated on my wife, or some fucking bullshit like that. You know what I fucking mean. And
Everything you want.
that's how they get out of it. is through the forgiveness clause. You know? And really, forgiveness for them really negates all their standards from the beginning. If you take the God's name in vain, oh, you can be forgiven for it. If you're jealous of your neighbor, you can be forgiven for it. If you cheat on your wife, you can be forgiven for it. You know? So if you can be forgiven for all these fucking things, what's the use in having standards in the first place? You know what I mean? What's the use of making all these stupid fucking rules in opposition of what you really want to do if you can get out of it. If you can get out of it, I mean, fucking
I work just as fucking hard and I get shit.
Right. And sex, back to our original point about sex and homosexuality, like we should live and let die, really. If a man or a woman wants to be a homosexual, if they want to be gay or lesbian, we should just let them do it. You know what I mean? It's no big deal to me,
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Sex is one of those things where, it puts us in a state of frenzy. It just like, it gets to us. It gives us a different outlook on life.
Yes, and I'm tickled pink.
Even a split personality for some of us who are more freaky,
Yes, and I'm tickled pink.
Right. We see the world through different eyes when we're horny, when we just want to fuck and get it on.
And make sure it's a good one.
And, some things become excusable in the state of arousal. It's true.
Ooh.
It's true. You would never do some things, it just depends on how horny you are. If you're really fucking horny, you're going to let more shit. You're going to let more shit be acceptable to you than otherwise. If you weren't that horny or if you weren't aroused at all, and it's just...
And make sure it's a good one.
Yeah. So it's a joy and a pleasure of complete surrender. A lot of Christians will never know. And that's their tough luck.
Well, isn't that special?
They'll never know the joy of surrender, of surrendering to the flesh, to the want. Fucking Christians are going to walk around with ice packs on their dicks and their balls and their vajayjays their whole life, and they're just never going to know what it's like to live. And I just think we should reconsider this whole anti-gay thing. Just because we support the gays, it doesn't mean that we are gays, but we should say, hey, you're fucking gay, dude. Live with it. I don't think anyone has a choice really on whether they're gay or not. I mean, I didn't have a choice in liking pussy.
What a dick.
I don't feel I had a choice in liking titties either.
What a dick.
I don't feel I had a choice in liking to tie women up in my bed.
What a dick.
I don't feel I had a choice in none of that shit. And just staying up late at night wanting to suckle titties and shit. Like, who asked me if that's what I wanted? Who asked me if that's what I wanted? If I wanted to take some woman from behind, like if I was some kind of monster beast werewolf, Who fucking asked me, So we should think about that a little more. Well, it's time for a break. Watch these balls. We'll be right back.
Whatever it is, do it.
Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Just fucking do it, dude. You know what I mean? You only... Damn. This life can be sometimes fleeting at times, but enjoy. Enjoy.
What a dick.
Right, so Micheal Strahan was... Someone wanted to kill him, if you can believe it. Like, kill him. Like, kill him till he's dead, if you can believe it, you know? And that's just a horrible thing. ABC. ABC's security team Tuesday stopped an apparent crazed fan who was brandishing a knife, tried to muscle his way into the Good Morning America studio in Manhattan's Times Square. A 25-year-old man named Andre Johnson attempted to enter the studio, apparently in hopes of finding the gap-toothed GMA personality at about 8 a.m. and was quickly confronted by an off-duty police officer doing security for the show. The man then pulled out a knife and tried to stab the officer, but was quickly subdued and taken into custody. While in police custody, Johnson said that he was trying to get into the studio to kill Micheal Strahan. The man has been charged with felony attempted assault, menacing, and criminal possession of a weapon. As for Strahan, the 42-year-old former NFL star, who also appears on Live with Kelly and Michael, was never in peril. He didn't even know about it until later in the afternoon. We understand the man was taken in for psychiatric evaluation. It was a scary situation, but thanks to the fast actions of NYPD, the situation was quickly under control. Michael was never in any danger. Yep. You know, can't even host Good Morning America without someone wanting to kill your fucking ass, you know what I mean? Swear to God. Swear to God.
Fuck you!
Yeah, so I want you to think back when you were 13 years old. And I want you to think back to the time when you first played with the Ouija board. Right. That's how I felt too. You know, I was scared, and then, because I was raised Catholic, right? And you know how we're all holy when we're Catholic and 13. And so I was like, Father, bless me, Father, if I have sinned. It's been 2 months since my last confession. He says, well, what have you done, my son? I said, Father, I masturbate quite a bit. And he said, well, I do too. And you told me that last week too. What else have you done? What else have you done, King of Cups, little King of Cups?
Shut up and let me think.
And I said, well, Father, I also played with the Ouija board. And he said, interesting.
What a dick.
Anyways, I had to do a fucking rosary or something. You know how they do. But anyway, down in Mexico, these kids went all out when they went for their Ouija board experience. And I'll tell you why.
Tell him to suck his pee-pee.
Teenagers hospitalized for possession. This story comes out of Mexico. Alexandra Huerta is a 16-year-old orphan living with family in remote Tepoztlan, Mexico. That must really be deep in Mexico right there if I can't even say it, if it's not even, you know. Right. After voicing a desire to speak to and know her dead parents who died when she was a baby, her guardian suggested she use a Ouija board combined with a drug called Brugmansia. Brugmansia, also called Angel's Trumpet, is used in shamanistic black magic rituals common in the rural areas surrounding her city. Alexandra, her brother, and her cousin brewed the traditional tea from the flowers of the plant, ingested it, and began using the Ouija board. And that's, you know what, dude? I have a strong feeling this doesn't end well. Within minutes, They were all overcome, speaking in voices not their own. They proceeded to attempt to harm themselves, even using kitchen utensils. The paramedics were called when attempts to rouse the teens from their horrific behavior failed. One paramedic took a 2-minute video as well. And I saw the video, and you know how in Mexico they're real superstitious? Well, over here in the United States, where we just worship the devil, um, it just looked like she was very high, like she was just on mushrooms, and all she really said was, "I'm going to die, I'm going to die," and it's just because she was high. It was the drug was more than what she expected from it. Yeah, it was more than what she expected. The teens reported symptoms including horrific visions, numbness, and muscle spasms. They came out of the apparent effects of the possession while in the hospital. Their current condition isn't known, as family won't allow them to speak to outsiders. However, they say they fear they are still possessed by the devil. According to the story, a local priest refused to perform an exorcism because they didn't attend his church, then stated a special priest from the city is required for exorcisms. And, they're just real superstitious, but what really happened, what I think happened, right, is they just got very high on some mushroom peyote kind of shit, and, plus the fact that they were using a Ouija board, it kind of got in their head that, but who else would possess them, right? It wouldn't be Saint Michael and his angels, would it? It would just be Satanus and his angels that possess them, of course. Yeah. Yep. But the Ouija board and drugs is very psychosomatic. So you can fall into this state where you kind of think you're possessed by the devil, but it's just the drugs, It's just the drugs.
Everything you want.
Proper use of the Ouija board, don't use drugs. Try to be as sober as you can when you use it. That way, it could still be psychosomatic, but you'll still be sober. They won't be able to blame it on alcohol or shrooms or weed or angel's trumpet, as it were, So be as sober as you can. That way you can get more of a clear idea of what the hell is happening. Yeah. And there's civil unrest concerning Mexico as well, but here in the United States. I'm sure you guys all heard about the immigrant buses out in, I think it's California or Arizona. Well, here we go. Homeland Security buses carrying migrant children and families were rerouted Tuesday to a facility in San Diego after American flag-waving protesters blocked the group from reaching a suburban processing center. And anti-immigration protesters block undocumented migrants in California. The standoff in Murrieta came after Mayor Alan Long urged residents to complain to elected officials about the plan to transfer the Central American migrants to California to ease overcrowding of facilities along the Texas-Mexican border. Yeah. So he urged people to write angry letters. Instead, they loaded up on American flags and poster board and stopped them.
Fuck you!
Right in the street. Many protesters held U.S. flags while others held signs reading "Stop Illegal Immigration" and "Illegals Out." We can't start taking care of others if we can't take care of our own, protester Nancy Grayson, 60 years old, of Murrieta, told the Desert Sun newspaper. Many of the migrants were detained while fleeing violence and extortion from gangs in Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. After the buses were blocked, federal authorities rerouted the vehicles to a freeway and then to a customs and border facility in San Diego within view of the Mexican border. Now, tell them.
Do your fucking job!
The 3 buses were trailed by half-dozen news crews during the 2-hour trip. People near the San Diego facility were surprised by the caravan. Juan Silva, 27, a welder in Chula Vista, said he thought officials were transporting drug traffickers. Then he heard the buses were carrying migrant families. I see.
Do your fucking job!
I don't think people in that town should be against little kids, he said about the protesters. We're not talking about rapists. We're talking about human beings. How would they feel if it was their kids? Now I think the media is trumping this up to make the Americans look bad. I think they're trying to make the Americans look bad by saying
Everything you want.
it was a bus filled with children. I'm sure there were men on that bus, and I'm sure there were women on that bus too, you know? Yep. After the migrants are processed, Immigration and Customs Enforcement will decide who can be released while awaiting deportation proceedings. Earlier in the day, a chartered plane landed in San Diego with 136 migrants on board, according to a federal Department of Homeland Security official who is not authorized to be named when speaking on the issue. You know. Yep. And you know, I saw this news report on the same subject, and what it was is these people were being released to a bus station like Greyhound,
Everything you want.
where they go to Mexico. The Greyhound bus goes to major cities in Mexico.
Everything you want.
But these people were not in the bus line to go to Mexico. They were in the bus line to go to Ohio, to go to Tennessee, to go to Oregon. They were not buying tickets. You know, they had money. They were not buying tickets. How they got money, I don't fucking know. But they were not buying tickets for bus trips back to Mexico. Swear to God. Swear to fucking God. So you go figure. You be the judge, you know? And, yeah, what can be done? And then Obama wants 200 million or 2 more million to fucking take care of these fucking people, you know? And the United States really has to put their foot down and say,
Because
no, we can't help you. We just cannot help you. There's no way we can help you. I know that's not the image that we like to portray to the world, but hey, it's the practical answer to everything, you know? We gotta ship you back below the border. You don't belong here, you know? Yep. Yep. That's an international line. Federally recognized, and they're just walking over it like it's still a line in the dirt. It's not a line in the dirt anymore. Maybe it was when your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was alive.
Do your fucking job!
But not anymore. Mm-mm. Yep. Hey, remember that asshole Justin Harris who killed his kid? Yeah. Well, some new news, some updates on his situation. See, he had a hearing today, and well, this is what we found out. The Georgia dad, charged with killing his toddler son by leaving the boy in a hot car all day, was exchanging graphic texts with multiple women, including a teenage girl, in the hours before he found the boy dead. A detective testified today at a court hearing. I see, you fucking horn dog, you.
Fuck you!
The prosecutor said that he brought up the sexting on the messaging app Kik during the probable cause hearing because it goes to the state of mind of the defendant, Justin Ross Harris. He wanted to live a child-free life. Jesus. You know, I don't fucking know. Wow. I'm kind of confused at this point. Harris, 33, sat passively in an orange jail jumpsuit during the hearing. Harris, who faces child cruelty and murder charges, has insisted he forgot his son was in the car and that the boy's death was an accident. Yep. And then his wife comes in. Well, she casually mentions to the daycare, because the daycare told her, hey, your son didn't come in with your son didn't come in, and then she says, oh, Justin must have left him in the car.
Crap.
Right. Yep. And this is the thing, when you go on trial, like sexting, it happens even within married couples, but
Good for you and your father.
when you go on trial, all of you goes on trial. I mean, obviously, they searched this guy's search engine for his recent searches on, what was he looking for? What was he looking at? All that kind of stuff.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
So, the fact that he was sexting a picture of his cock to a 17-year-old, it's not really going to vindicate him. It's not really going to help his case any. But he was crying in the courtroom, and there was just not a dry eye in the house. You know what I mean? And a witness at the Chick-fil-A contradicted the prosecution's testimony when he said, yes, Justin Harris was crying when he pulled the dead boy out of the car. So there's a lot to be sorted out through here, Fucking psychopath. Yep. I'm more mad at him for making me look stupid than, killing his kid.
Tell him to suck his pee-pee.
So fucking cold-blooded. So cold-blooded. Swear.
What a dick.
Yeah. Well, it's time for break. Wash these balls. We'll be right back.
You're mine. Well, I am the demon, the little voice inside your head, and you'll be feeling there's something hiding underneath your bed. St. Lucius is by my side. You've got nowhere left to hide. St. Lucius is by my side. You've got nowhere left to hide.
Alright, we're back. King of Cups here for the Devil's homepage. I want everyone right now to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Yeah, that's what I want you guys to do. You know, okay, so back to Justin Harris, right? He was sexting a picture of his cock to a 17-year-old girl, and so we all know about his internet searches. He researched how long it would take for little kids to die or little animals to die in a hot car. And he also searched how to survive in prison. Now, that's what piqued my interest. So I decided to do the same thing. I asked Google, I said, Google Almighty, tell me, how do I survive in prison?
Tell him to suck his pee-pee.
And so here I have the top 11. I'm only going to do 10. Should I do 10? Fuck it. Here I have 11 tips on how to
Shut up and let me think.
survive prison. Some of them I've already can tell when from the prison movies that I've seen. Alright, so here we go. When you enter prison, try to concentrate on what's going on inside prison, because time will seem to pass faster that way. Concentrate on the things you can control in prison, not the things that are out of your reach outside the prison fence.
Tell him to suck his pee-pee.
Very good. Very important information. Number 2, start eating like a horse. Work out and study. Practice street fighting techniques. At some point soon, you are going to be tested, and you'll need to show that you can look after yourself. That is true. Really. I can see that happening. I can see a fight going on in prison right now. Number 3, bear in mind that anything you say, especially on the phone, is likely to be overheard by both prisoners and guards. There are snitches among your fellow inmates that are looking to trade information for favors with the staff, and this is also encouraged by case managers. Be especially careful about criticizing another inmate, as you can pretty much guarantee that it will get back to him. Number 4, don't forget to get vaccinated for everything possible before sentencing. Your county health service will do it at a reduced cost, and it could save your life. That's an interesting one. That's one I wouldn't even think about. Letters and phone calls going in or out of a prison are routinely monitored. That's because the prison authorities are always looking for dirt. If they spot something interesting, a copy or recording will be made for future investigation. Warn your friends and family that there's no such thing as privacy when you're inside prison. Keep a low profile and try to blend into the background when you are in prison. Stay under the radar of guards and other prison employees. Basically, don't draw attention to yourself if you can avoid it. Remember that the nail that stands out gets hammered in.
Tell him to suck his pee-pee.
Swear. I would never survive I could already see myself being someone's bitch.
Ooh.
Yeah. Inmates who are homosexual are usually looked down upon and are ostracized by other inmates. If you are gay, you best keep it to yourself while in prison, because it will only cause you problems. Inmates who are usually young or cute-looking may be approached sexually by others who are testing the waters. If you are approached, it is better to decline. You do not want to become the property of some other inmates. Ugh. Yep. Man, I just coughed up some heck of a loogie right now. Jesus Christ.
Well, isn't that fat?
I might have to call an emergency break. Oh yeah, so where were we? Not becoming property. If someone should ever call you a punk or a bitch, it may seem logical to be the better man and walk away. However, while in prison, you have to show that you won't allow yourself to be punked, and it is almost certainly expected of you to put up a fight when called either one of these two names. And I can see that.
Yes, and I'm tickled pink.
So far, so good. I can see all these things in prison movies. Classic place for an attack is the toilet or shower when you are distracted. An attacker can seize a time window of just 30 seconds to attack you, then walk away nonchalantly. So watch their hands, because that's where the attack comes from. If someone has their hands in their pockets or behind their back, they could be concealing an improvised weapon such as a homemade knife. Don't let yourself get backed into a corner. You have no escape route away from your attacker. Yeah, getting attacked in the shower, like if I was attacked in the shower, and I can only speculate because I've never been attacked in the shower.
I work just as fucking hard and I get shit.
But one can throw a fist fight while they're naked, right? I mean, the fight's more important than covering yourself and being bashful and all that kind of stuff.
I work just as fucking hard and I get shit.
If you're in for something like a sex offense, don't lie and tell anyone that you're in for something like drug dealing. If you truly were a drug dealer, then someone in prison is bound to know someone on the outside who should know of you. They will ask you for names of certain individuals in the area that you claim to deal, names that you should know and who should know you in the logical drug scene of the area. Don't bother making up names. Prison will be filled with people who know the drug scene and even the little people in it. If they can't pin down anyone who recognizes you, regardless of them probably not knowing your real name, which is common in the drug scene, then they will suspect you are lying and the consequences will be dire. So you can't lie to a bunch of liars. This may sound weird and uncomfortable. Now, this is number 11, right? This may sound weird and uncomfortable, but could be life-saving. If you are concerned about getting attacked, sit when you go to the bathroom and take your pants off completely. Since many attacks happen when you are using the toilet, it's easier to defend yourself without your pants around your ankles, so you would not trip. Now,
Fuck you!
Can you imagine having to take your pants off every time you gotta take a leak? That's fucked up, dude.
Everything you want.
So, Mr. Justin Harris, you have that to look forward to. I hope you got what you needed from those web searches, man. Because even if you're innocent or not, it looks like a crucifixion is going on here.
Fuck you!
Yeah. They're throwing the book at you, fool. Honestly, you better believe it.
Crap.
Yeah. Shit. Yep. So, in the interest of people who want to kill their kids, let's go to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. A Maryland woman poisoned her young sons with eye drops and faces charges of aggravated assault and endangering the welfare of children. State police in Gettysburg announced Monday they had arrested Samantha Elizabeth Unger, 23. I should have muted my shit. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. Is I'm having a major Loogie Hawk contest, apparently. Yeah. So anyways, Samantha Elizabeth Unger, 23, after she told them she put Visine into drinks for her 3-year-old and that her 1-year-old got sick by drinking them accidentally. Unger told police she put the medication in his water and juice, eventually giving him more than a bottle of eye drops, according to her arrest affidavit. Both children became sick this spring. What was she doing? Like, was she conducting a scientific experiment? Who would even think of putting Visine in their children's juice? Both children became sick this spring. The older boy required several hospital visits and at one point was airlifted because his pulse had become dangerously low. Doctors at Hershey Medical Center suspected poisoning and tests found the substance in the 3-year-old's urine. Unger lived at the time in Ortana, outside Gettysburg, but has since moved across the state line to Thurmont, Maryland. Unger's public defender did not return a phone message left on Tuesday. A judge set bail for $50,000 2 weeks ago. A preliminary hearing was scheduled for later this month. Adams County District Attorney Sean Wagner said Unger was not charged with attempted murder because that requires an element of intent. We could not show that intent given her actions in the case, Wagner said Tuesday. That's interesting. Like, was she actually trying to make their eyesight better by drugging their apple juice? I mean, is that really what was going on here at this point in time? You know, like, oh, fucking people. Swear to God. Swear to God. Yeah, so in the interest of children that die, in later news, boy 12 found shot to death at Boy Scout camp in San Diego. A 12-year-old boy from Las Vegas was found dead of a gunshot wound at a Boy Scouts of America summer camp in San Diego, police said on Monday. An emergency call from the camp described the shooting as a suicide attempt, said San Diego Police Lieutenant Mike Hastings of the Homicide Unit. The boy was at Fiesta Island in San Diego's Mission Bay with his Las Vegas-based Boy Scout troop, according to San Diego Police spokesman Matt Tortorella. The camp, which has canoes and kayaks, is focused on aquatic sports, and police said there was no shooting component to it. Investigators found a handgun near the boy who had a gunshot wound to the upper torso, and they were seeking to find out why the weapon was at the camp. The boy's father was at the camp with him, having arrived on Sunday for a 7-day stay. They had been scheduled to return to Las Vegas on Saturday. That sounds odd. It's hard to leave your son there when you know what happened, but I don't think it's psychologically scarring for the kids who aren't connected to that family and that troop, an eyewitness said. You know, that is kind of odd because out of all the places to kill yourself, why would you choose a vacation spot, really? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna kill yourself with a gun, like, probably the bedroom would probably be your better choice. I mean, there's no reason in ruining everyone else's happy weekend, you know?
Everything you want.
Right. Suicide attempt. Maybe he took the gun to play Russian roulette with some kids, with some friends. They wanted to play Russian roulette, or he wanted to act like a badass, and...
I work just as fucking hard and I get shit.
Right. Yep. Yep. So, we heard last time, the nanny from hell. The nanny that would not go away. The nanny who forced a family to chain their refrigerator door shut with a bicycle lock. Damn you, woman.
Fuck you!
Yeah, the same woman that reminds me of my sister who didn't want to leave home, right? Who was living out of a bedroom at 27 years old, right?
I work just as fucking hard and I get shit.
The California nanny, who has refused to move out, claims she wasn't fired. She quit. Well, good for her.
Fuck you!
Diane Stratton also claims that she worked 90 straight days without a day off or even a coffee or lunch break, while helping Marcella and Ralph Bracamonte care for their 3 children in their Upland home. Stratton, 64, made her claims to KNX Radio after days of refusing to speak about the accusations against her, even when reporters found her living in her car at a police station. And I don't really feel sorry for her if she had to live out of her car.
Fuck you!
The Bracamontes claimed that they had hired Stratton as a live-in nanny in early March in exchange for room and board, but she stopped working earlier this month because of physical ailments. When she allegedly refused to come out of her room except to eat, they dismissed her and asked her to leave, the Bracamontes claim. Stratton refused to leave and threatened to sue them for elder abuse and improper firing. It's exactly the opposite, Stratton told KNX. Well, first of all, I wasn't fired, unless you can be fired after you quit. I quit 2 days before they fired me, she told the station, and I gave 30 days of notice, which we had agreed to. I don't believe her one bit. No way.
Fuck you!
Stratton said in the interview that she refused to work only on 2 days when she was sick. This was after 90 days where I hadn't had a day off, she said. Stratton claimed that she never got lunch breaks, coffee breaks, or holidays off. Stratton said the value of her room and board was trivial compared to the work she was doing, which was whatever they want, doing cooking, doing heavy house cleaning, taking care of kids. I was using a lot of skills a lot of people would not have had. She claimed she hardly ever had access to the bathroom and there was no air conditioning.
Fuck you!
I think they're the con artists. Mark Cohen, a lawyer for the Bracamontes, told ABC News the family is deeply disturbed and absolutely denies all of those statements. It's absolutely not true. Stratton, who left the Bracamontes' home Thursday but has not moved her stuff out, sent an email to Cohen over the weekend setting out conditions for removing her possessions and leaving the home for good by July 4th. They include having the media leave the Bracamontes' home, allowing her 3 more nights in the house, and the use of a shower. Fuck this bitch.
Everything you want.
And if she doesn't get these conditions, what? She's not going to move her shit out of the fucking house, or what?
Everything you want.
Yeah. She has a major... She's on a vexatious litigant list, which means that she brings up lawsuits frivolously. That tells us a lot about her. It really does. You know? Yep. The majority of the lawsuits were directed at her own family members, particularly her 2 sisters. According to documents, Stratton tried to block her sisters from selling family property. Last year, Stratton even sued her son Michael, according to court records, and a car rental agency for property damage and personal injury in connection with the motor vehicle accident. Court documents show that when Stratton's father, John Richardson, died in 2000, his will included Stratton's 2 sisters, Donna Toby and Sharon Freeburn. Richardson, her dad, specifically and expressly omitted Stratton. So there you go. Even her dad didn't want to give her shit. Even her own fucking dad said, you know what, bitch? Kiss my ass. Kiss it. Fucking freeloading whore. Kiss it.
Do your fucking job!
Right. So, you know, this is another edition gone down the drain. I had to cut it short because I have like this frog in my throat and it's really fucking me up, dude. Like, I'm surprised I got through the last 30 minutes without, you know, fuck it. Fuck it.
Because...
Yeah. But at least you had your favorite part of the show in the first part of the show, and now you know that I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I want you to download all my shit and be my biggest fan, and everything like that. So remember, hate Christ in your everyday life, you know, he doesn't give a shit about you, really.
Crap.
I doubt he's going to forgive you for all the satanic orgies you've been a part of.
Crap.
Right. Yep. So another day down the drain. So have a happy 4th of July for Satan, from the King of Cups, for the Devil's homepage. I gotta tell ya, peace out and see you next time.
Satan, Satan, lend me $1. Satan, Satan, let me $1 now. Satan, Satan, lend me $1. Satan, Satan, let me $1 now. The IRS, it really sucks. Uncle Sam took all my butt. If I did something to make you mad, you wouldn't be half so bad. Satan, lend me $1. Satan, Satan, let me $1 now. Please, Satan, Satan, lend me $1. Satan, Satan, let me $1 now. If you could spare a dime, that would sure be grand. So won't you come up and lend a helping hand? Please, Satan.